They didn't invite me to Christmas because my sister's dog was nervous around poor people. I found out the truth on Instagram Live. Dad texted for rent money. I stayed silent. 2 weeks later, I showed up calmly when their family event was shut down. By me. Hey Reddit! So my family has always treated me like the designated wallet with a pulse. I let it slide until they cut me out of Christmas with the dumbest excuse imaginable. That was the last straw. But before we get to the chaos, here's how it all started. I'm Ryan, 34, and I inspect industrial safety systems for manufacturing plants across 3 states. It's not glamorous, but $92,000 a year for a one-bedroom place 90 minutes from home is nothing to complain about. The job is simple. Check systems, write reports, move on. No drama, no office politics, quiet, predictable work. Everything else in my life? Not so much. Christmas used to be the one week my family pretended to like each other. Same old playlist from 1997, same potluck dishes nobody wanted, and my cousin Tyler knocking over at least one object per holiday like it was a personal tradition. This year I prepped early. New stand mixer for mom, leather jacket for my sister Laura, updated tool set for dad. Gifts kept everyone off my back for a few weeks. I'd been helping financially for years. Dad would text, "Tight month, can you spot 600?" And I'd send it without thinking. When his passive income duplex started bleeding money, I covered the shortfalls, about $1,200 a month for the last year and a half. Add in the 2 mortgage bailouts, Laura's 8 months of car insurance while she was finding herself, mom's dental copay, and a rotating list of utility bills, and I'd basically become the unofficial family budget buffer. No thanks, no accountability, just expectation. Then there was Buddy, Laura's French bulldog. Designer carrier, custom outfits, fake emotional support vest, Instagram following. Buddy himself was fine. Calm, sleepy, unbothered. Laura behaved like he was royalty. Suggest he sit on the floor at a restaurant? Personal attack. I'd seen Buddy in loud houses, around kids, around chaos. The dog had the energy of a warm potato. So the idea of him being sensitive was always flexible. Thanksgiving 2 years ago showed me exactly where I ranked. Laura arrived 4 hours late. Buddy's carrier plopped on the table like he had a reservation. No apology, just photos for her feed. Mom excused it. Dad excused it. I mentioned it would have been nice to know she was late. Laura said I was creating negative energy and making her and Buddy uncomfortable. That night, Dad pulled me aside, not to address her behavior, but to tell me to let it go, and then to ask if I could cover her overdue car payment. $460. I transferred it before dessert. And that was the pattern. Laura caused the mess, I pointed it out, she flipped it, and somehow I ended the night paying for something. So when December hit and everything suddenly became about Buddy, none of it made sense. Until it did. December 18th, I'm at a job site in Cincinnati checking ventilation systems when our family group chat explodes. 3 messages from Laura in rapid succession, then a voice note. I finished my inspection first, then opened my phone during lunch break. The voice note played. Laura's voice, doing that fake sympathetic thing she does when she's about to screw someone over. Hey everyone, so I've been talking to mom and dad, and we've made a really hard decision about Christmas this year. Buddy's been having severe anxiety lately, and his vet recommended we keep things really calm and controlled for him during the holidays. We're still doing Christmas, but we're keeping it intimate and curated. Just immediate family who Buddy knows really well. We don't want any stressful energy or chaotic vibes around him right now. No offense to anyone, but we have to put his mental health first. Hope everyone understands. Then came the text. Longer and somehow worse. To clarify, we're doing Christmas at the house, but only people Buddy has bonded with. He doesn't do well around unpredictable energy or people he's not used to seeing regularly. Buddy picks up on certain energy. This isn't personal, it's medical. We don't want anything triggering for him. Thanks for understanding and being respectful of his needs. I read it 3 times. Buddy, the dog who'd been to every family event for 2 years. The dog who'd slept through Tyler dropping an entire tray of food at Thanksgiving. The dog who I'd personally watch sit calmly in a coffee shop while a kid had a full meltdown 2 tables over. That dog apparently couldn't handle me being at Christmas. I scrolled up to see the reactions. Mom had dropped a heart emoji on the voice note. Dad had given it a thumbs up. A few cousins had sent neutral responses like, understood, or hope he feels better. Nobody pushed back. Nobody questioned it. Nobody asked why this was the first anyone was hearing about Buddy's sudden anxiety disorder. I sat in my truck staring at my phone. Christmas wasn't canceled, just me. I didn't respond right away. Spent the rest of the day running through interactions in my head, trying to figure out what I'd done. Had I been rude to Laura? Had I complained too much last year? Did I accidentally kick Buddy at some point and block it out? Nothing. I came up with absolutely nothing. That evening, I sent one message to the group chat. Got it. Hope Buddy feels better. Let me know if you need anything. Lara reacted with a praying hands emoji. Nobody else responded. Over the next few days, the group chat stayed weirdly active but super surface level. People posting memes, Dad sharing some article about football, Lara dropping photos of Buddy in various outfits. But whenever I sent anything, silence. Or just one courtesy reaction and then nothing. I watched the scene indicators pop up under my messages. Everyone was reading them. Nobody was replying. Then I started noticing things I'd missed before. References to conversations I wasn't part of. Someone mentioning the playlist we picked, and someone else replying, the caterer confirmed Friday. Tyler posted a laughing emoji at some inside joke I didn't understand, and 3 people reacted immediately. Lara asking, did you get the DJ's deposit back? And Mom replying, all set. They were planning something big, and I wasn't in on it. I opened my camera app and started screen recording. Scrolled through the whole conversation, captured Lara's voice note playing, got screenshots of the text, saved every reaction, went back through weeks of chat history, and grabbed anything relevant, created a folder on my phone and labeled it Evidence. Added a note to myself, check for second group chat. Something was off, and I wanted documentation before it got deleted or walked back. Christmas Eve came and I heated up some frozen pizza, put on Die Hard for the 100th time, and tried to convince myself this was fine. I'd bought myself decent bourbon for once, poured a glass, and settled in for a quiet night. The group chat was dead silent now. Hadn't been a message in hours. But I could see people were active, posting Instagram stories, updating statuses, just not in the family chat. Around 9 p.m., I checked Lara's Instagram. Story after story of her packing things, wrapping presents, Buddy wearing a tiny Santa hat, getting ready for the best Christmas yet, with a bunch of sparkle emojis. I set my phone down and stared at the TV. Christmas morning felt hollow. Slept late, made coffee, scrolled through messages from a couple friends wishing me happy holidays. Responded to those. Ignored everything else. Spent the afternoon watching random YouTube videos about true crime and building restoration projects. Ordered Chinese food around 5 p.m. By 8 p.m., I'd given up on feeling festive. Changed into sweats, cleaned my apartment, answered some work emails, kept my phone on silent. That's when it happened. Notification from Instagram. Lara had gone live. I almost didn't click it. Almost just let it pass. But something made me open it, and my stomach dropped straight through the floor. The live stream opened on my parents' living room, and it looked like a magazine spread. Professional-level Christmas decorations everywhere. Lights strung across every surface. A massive tree that definitely wasn't there last time I visited. Tinsel and garland making the whole place look like a department store display. There was a DJ booth set up near the fireplace. An actual DJ with turntables and speakers, playing music loud enough that I could hear it clearly through Lara's phone. The kitchen island was covered in catered food. Proper catering with those metal warming trays and everything. Shrimp cocktail, prime rib, some kind of fancy cheese display. The works. There were at least 40 people crammed into that house. Cousins, aunts, uncles, neighbors, people I didn't even recognize. Everyone dressed up, everyone holding drinks, everyone laughing. And right in the middle of everything, sitting on the couch surrounded by strangers and chaos, was Buddy. The dog was wearing a little tuxedo vest, completely relaxed, letting people pet him while music pounded from the speakers. Someone popped a champagne bottle, and the cork flew across the room. Buddy didn't even flinch, just sat there looking bored while confetti cannons went off and people cheered. "Merry Christmas from the real family!" Lara shouted into the camera, spinning around to show the whole scene. I spotted Tyler already drunk and attempting some dance move, my parents in matching Christmas sweaters passing out drinks, Aunt Linda holding what looked like her 4th glass of wine. The camera panned back to Buddy, and Lara zoomed in on him. "Look at this sweet boy thriving in his element," she said. "He's doing so good tonight. So proud of him." Someone off camera, sounded like my cousin Jennifer, shouted, "Buddy's finally around people at his level." Everyone laughed. Lara laughed. The camera shook. She kept the live going for another 12 minutes. Showed off the food, the decorations, gave a tour of the house, did this whole bit about Buddy's journey with anxiety and how important it was to respect his mental health needs while literal chaos unfolded behind her. Music blasting, people screaming, someone breaking a glass in the background. Through all of it, Buddy just sat there, calm, unbothered, surrounded by noise and strangers and everything Lara had claimed would trigger him. Then Lara panned the camera across the room one more time, showing off the decoration. The camera swept past the tree, and I caught it for just a second. The leather jacket I'd bought for Lara, still in its box, sitting under the tree with my card attached to it. They'd kept the gift, just not me. I watched the whole thing, didn't look away one. Screen recorded every second of it. When the live ended, I sat in complete silence for probably 20 minutes. Then I opened my banking app and got to work. First thing I did was open every account, every service, every subscription that had their names attached to it. Started making a list. The rental property assistance I'd been sending Dad, $1,200 a month for the last 18 months, that was ending. Total, $21,600. Lara's phone plan that I'd kept her on when she temporarily needed help 3 years ago, $85 a month, done. Total over 3 years, $3,060. The family Spotify account, the Netflix, the HBO Max, the YouTube Premium, all under my name, all paid by me, all getting canceled. Rough total over the years, $2,400. Car insurance for Mom's Honda that somehow ended up on my policy 2 years back during some billing mix-up, $140 a month for 2 years. Gone. Total, $3,360. The utilities at their house, gas, electric, water, internet, all in my name from when they'd had some credit issue years ago, and I'd agreed to help temporarily. That temporary arrangement had lasted 4 years, about $380 a month average. Not anymore. 4-year total, $18,240. Then there were the one-off bailouts I could track through bank records. The 2 mortgage payments when Dad got laid off, $3,800. Lara's car insurance during her job search, $1,120. Mom's dental copay, $890. Emergency utility transfers beyond the regular monthly payments, things like reconnection fees and shutoff notices, roughly $4,200. I went through everything systematically, made the immediate cancellations first by phone, called every company, explained I was removing myself from the accounts, got confirmation numbers for everything. Some customer service rep named Patricia at the electric company asked if everything was okay. I said, just making some overdue changes, thanks, and kept it moving. Then I started the paper trail, drafted formal emails to every service with account numbers, confirmation codes, dates, built documentation for everything. I reorganized the folder on my phone and renamed it Case. Added the live stream recording, screenshots of the group chat, Lara's voice note, the reactions from Mom and Dad, call logs showing Dad's past money requests, bank statements showing every transfer I'd sent. Then I opened my payment tracking spreadsheet. 6 years of transfers, payments, bailouts, all documented with dates and amounts. I renamed the spreadsheet tabs while I worked. Premium family plan for the first sheet. Free trial ended for the summary page. Auto pay disabled for the final tally. Total came out to $58,670 over 6 years. Almost 60 grand. Never asked for a dime back. I took screenshots of everything. Added those to the case folder too. Took me about 4 hours to work through it all. Made coffee at 2 a.m. and kept going. By the time I finished, every immediate connection was severed. Every autopay canceled. Every shared service disconnected. Documentation queued up for morning. Backed everything up to cloud storage and an external drive. I wasn't angry anymore. I was just following a checklist. Then I waited. December 27th, 10:30 a.m. Text from Dad. Need $4,800 for the duplex payment. Due January 3rd. Can you send today? No Merry Christmas. No, how are you? No acknowledgement that anything had happened. Just a straight demand for money like I was an ATM he'd forgotten to visit. The duplex. His rental property that had been bleeding money for months. The one I'd been quietly covering shortfalls for. Apparently, January's full payment was my problem too. I looked at that text for maybe 10 seconds. Then I typed back, lose my number. I don't fund liars. Hit send. Blocked his number. Blocked Mom's. Blocked Lara's. Blocked Aunt Linda's. Went down my contacts list and blocked anyone who might try playing mediator. Sent out all the formal documentation emails I'd drafted the night before. Property management for Dad's rental, phone carrier, insurance companies, utility providers. Formal request to remove my name, stop all payments, close all accounts. Got confirmation emails for every single one. Then I turned off my phone and went to the gym. Spent 2 hours there. Came home, showered, made dinner. Turned my phone back on around 7 p.m. 53 missed calls from blocked numbers. Voicemails piling up. Text notifications from random area codes I didn't recognize. I listened to one voicemail. Mom's voice shaky and confused. Ryan, please call us. There's been a misunderstanding. Just please call. We can explain, please. Saved it to the case folder. Deleted the rest without listening. My phone kept buzzing all night. I put it in a drawer and went to bed. The next morning, I woke up to chaos I couldn't see but could definitely feel. Started getting messages on LinkedIn from family members I hadn't heard from in years. My cousin Brett, "Hey man, heard there's some drama. You good?" Didn't respond. Just screenshot it and added it to the folder. Around noon, Lara's Instagram comments started turning. Someone had asked why her brother wasn't at the party. She deleted the question. Then more people asked. She deleted those too. But screenshots were circulating. Someone commented, "Why would you exclude family on Christmas?" And it got 40 likes before she could remove it. By evening, she'd locked her comments and posted a vague story. Not everything is your business. Family is complicated. That just made it worse. More questions, more speculation. I watched it unfold without saying a word. Got an email from Mom that night. Subject, "Please read." Long message about how much they loved me, how they were sorry for any hurt feelings, how we could work this out as a family. Then the kicker at the end. "If you could just help us this 1 month while we sort out the budget, we can sit down after New Year's and talk everything through. We need $4,800 by the 3rd. Please." I archived it without responding. December 29th, Dad tried calling from a different number. I didn't pick up. He left a voicemail. Started out pleading, "Ryan, come on. We can talk about this like adults. Your mother's upset, your sister's embarrassed. Just call me back." Then his tone shifted. "You know what? Do what you want. Cut us off. See how long that lasts. You'll come crawling back when you realize you need us more than we need you. You always do." Saved it to the case folder. December 30th, I went for a run. Came back to find more missed calls, more voicemails I didn't listen to. Took a shower, made lunch, added everything to my documentation. New Year's Eve, Aunt Linda called from a random number. I picked up by accident while I was cooking dinner. "Ryan," she said, voice tight, "I'm not taking sides here, but you need to be the bigger person. What happened was unfortunate timing, but you're blowing it out of proportion. They're your family. Did they tell you why I stopped helping? They said there was a disagreement about Christmas plans, and you had a breakdown over it. That it wasn't even a real party, just a small gathering. Small gathering with a DJ and 40 people? A party they filmed and posted live?" Pause. "Well, even if that's true, you can't cut them off over one party. I'm not. I'm cutting them off for lying about why I wasn't invited, then asking for money like nothing happened. Ryan, you should apologize for timing if nothing else. They're struggling financially and because I stopped paying their bills. Bills I was never supposed to be paying in the first place. That's what family does. You help each other. Family doesn't lie. Family doesn't treat you like a bank." She sighed. "You're being dramatic. Just call your father." I hung up. The calls kept coming. The messages kept coming. But they all said variations of the same thing. It wasn't even a real party. Followed by, "How could you do this over a party?" The contradiction didn't seem to matter. They just wanted me back in line. Week later, my bank called. Security alert. Someone had tried to access my account from a recognized device, an old iPad I'd left at my parents' place during a visit years ago. Forgot I'd ever logged in there. 3 attempts to reset the password, 2 attempts to change my contact email, 1 attempt to add a new external transfer recipient. The bank flagged it all. I immediately enabled 2-factor on everything, wiped all logged-in devices remotely, added a fraud alert to my credit, got a case number from the bank, and sent the report to my lawyer buddy Tom. Tom called me back an hour later. "This is bad, man. They weren't just snooping, they were trying to take control." I know. You need to get that iPad back and document everything. And we need to talk about legal protection. What they're doing crosses into harassment territory. What do you recommend? Let me walk you through it. First, file a police report for the account access attempts. You've got the bank case number, that's solid evidence. Second, start documenting every contact attempt. You're already doing that. Good. Third, we prepare a cease and desist letter. If they ignore it, we move to a restraining order. How serious is a restraining order? It's a legal boundary. It says stay away, stop contacting, or face criminal charges. Given what you're telling me about the false wellness check potential and the account access, you might need it. Let's prepare the paperwork. I want it ready. I'll draft the restraining order packet this week. We won't file it unless we have to, but you'll have it ready to go. Thanks, Tom. One more thing. Install a camera at your door. Something with cloud backup. Document any physical visits. I'll order one tonight. Next day, I drove to their house. Didn't call ahead. Didn't warn anyone. Just showed up at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday, knowing Dad would be at work and hoping to avoid a scene. Their house looked rough. Christmas decorations half taken down and abandoned, lights drooping off the gutters, that plastic Santa still face down on the lawn from weeks ago. Trash bags stacked by the garage that nobody had bothered to take to the curb. I rang the doorbell, waited, heard movement, then footsteps. Then Mom opened the door. She looked like she hadn't slept right in days. Hair pulled back, wearing the same sweatshirt from some 5K run she'd done 5 years ago. "Ryan," she said. Couldn't tell if it was relief or panic. I pulled my phone out and set it on the porch railing, camera facing us, recording light visible. "Where's the iPad?" "What?" "The iPad I left here. Where is it?" She blinked. I think it's in the living room." "Why?" "Someone tried to access my bank account from that device 3 times. I'm here to collect it." Her face went pale. "Ryan, that wasn't... Is Dad home?" "No, he's... Good. Get the iPad." She turned and walked inside. I stayed on the porch. Didn't step in, didn't follow. Through the doorway, I could see the aftermath of their party. Living room still trashed, bottles on the counter, that dead party vibe where the fun's been gone for weeks, but nobody's cleaned up yet. Lara came downstairs, eyes red like she'd been crying. Saw me and stopped halfway. "Ryan, can we just..." "Don't." Mom came back with the iPad, handed it to me without looking at my eyes. I checked the device, confirmed it was mine, and turned to leave. "Wait," Lara said. "Just 5 minutes, please. We can fix this." I stopped at the door and looked back at her. "I gave you 6 years. We're done." Got in my car and left. Glanced in the rearview once and saw both of them standing on the porch, watching me drive away. Didn't slow down. Back home, I factory reset the iPad, changed every password on every account I owned, called Tom and sent him the recording from the porch, and added everything to the case folder. That night, the doorbell camera I'd ordered arrived. Spent an hour installing it, setting up cloud backup, testing the motion alerts. Tom was right. Document everything. 2 days later, I got a call from HR at work. Someone had apparently called claiming they were concerned about my mental health, suggested I might be unstable. HR was professional but direct. "We need to address this. Someone contacted us saying you've been making threats to family members." "That's not true. Can you provide any context?" I opened my laptop right there on the call. "I can send you documented evidence of fraud attempts, financial abuse, and harassment from the people making those claims. Please do." I sent over the bank case number, screenshots of their messages, and a timeline of events. Included the live stream recording showing them lying about why I was excluded, then the bills they wanted me to pay anyway. HR called back an hour later. "We're closing this inquiry. If they contact us again, we'll consider it harassment of our employee." That same week, a police officer showed up at my apartment for a wellness check. Someone had called claiming I was a danger to myself. The officer looked annoyed before I even opened my door. "Sir, I'm here because someone called in a concern. You doing okay?" "I'm fine. Someone's been trying to harass me through official channels." "You have documentation of that?" I showed him my phone, the messages, the bank fraud case number, the call logs. He sighed. "Yeah, I figured. This happens sometimes. If they keep calling these in, it becomes filing false reports. You might want to consider a restraining order." "I'm working on it." He nodded and left. I added the incident report number to my case folder and called Tom immediately. They called my work and filed a false wellness check. "We need to move. I'll have the cease and desist ready tomorrow. We're sending it to all 4 of them. Your parents, your sister, and the aunt. Certified mail, signature required." The letter went out 2 days later. Tom kept it professional but clear. Addressed to Dad, Mom, Lara, and Aunt Linda, since she'd been acting as their spokesperson. The key points: stop all contact with my employer. Stop filing false reports with authorities. Stop attempting to access my financial accounts. All future communication must go through legal counsel only. Failure to comply would result in formal harassment charges and a restraining order. We sent it certified mail, signature required. Tracking showed delivery within 48 hours. The calls slowed down almost immediately. A few random numbers still tried, but the constant barrage stopped. Then Aunt Linda sent one last email. Subject: unbelievable. Ryan, I can't believe you're threatening your own family with legal action. Over what? A party? Some hurt feelings? This is beyond childish. Your parents are scared to even call you now. Lara is devastated. You should be ashamed of yourself. I forwarded it to Tom without responding. He replied from his law firm email within an hour. Just one line. CC'd to me. Ms. Linda, do not contact my client again. All communication must go through this office. Consider this your final warning. I screenshot the exchange, added it to the case folder, and went back to making dinner. My cousin Tyler called me a few days later from a number I didn't recognize. I picked up because I figured he was neutral enough. Ryan, man, I'm not trying to start anything. I just wanted you to know that whole party thing was messed up. I didn't know they'd lied to you about why you weren't invited. Thanks. I sent you some screenshots, stuff from before Christmas that you should see. There was a second group chat. You weren't in it. He'd sent me screenshots from a family group chat I'd never been added to. Messages from the weeks before the party, planning everything. I scrolled through them slowly. Every line made it worse. Laura. So we're doing the 24th, right? Everyone's in? Mom. Yes. DJ's confirmed. Caterers confirmed. Dad. What about Ryan? Laura. Not Ryan, obviously. Just tell him it's about Buddy. Mom. That should work. He won't push back. Dad. He'll get over it. He always does. Jennifer. Wait, are we seriously excluding him on Christmas? Laura. It's not excluding, it's curating. Buddy needs a calm environment. Mom. Laura's right. It's better this way. Tyler. This feels wrong. Dad. He always pays anyway. We'll figure it out after. Laura. Besides, he'll still cover the duplex payment, right? That's not changing. Dad. He hasn't said otherwise. I read those last lines 3 times. They'd been counting on my money while planning to exclude me. There were more messages. Laura joking about how much easier it would be without me there. Mom agreeing it would be less stressful. Nobody defending me. Nobody questioning it. I thanked Tyler and added every screenshot to the case folder. Then I sat down at my kitchen table and opened my laptop, pulled up property records and smiled. Here's something they didn't know. 3 months ago, I'd bought an investment property through an LLC I'd set up for tax purposes. It was a decent place. 5 bedrooms, nice yard, good neighborhood about 40 minutes from my parents' house. I'd been renting it out for events and short-term bookings to cover the mortgage and build equity. I'd been monitoring rental rates in the area. 2 comparable properties within 3 miles had increased their event rates in December. Market trends supported an adjustment. From a business perspective, it made sense to review pricing for the new year. Laura had booked it 3 weeks ago for a mid-January family gathering. She'd specifically requested pet approval, sent over documentation for Buddy, made a big deal about needing a space where he'd be comfortable, paid the initial deposit through the booking site without ever realizing the property owner was me. The booking system I used allowed hosts to update terms for upcoming reservations, but guests had to confirm and complete payment under the new terms, or the reservation became invalid. Standard platform policy. I pulled up the booking, saw her confirmation, her requests, her messages about timing and guest count. I opened my property management company's portal and sent the updated terms notification. Security deposit increased to match current market requirements, full payment required 7 days in advance, updated cancellation policy, and event rate adjusted to reflect comparable properties in the area. The nightly rate went from $425 to $680. The event fee went from $150 to $300. The deposit went from $500 to $1,200. Updated terms reflecting current market conditions. Required confirmation and payment by January 8th to maintain the January 15th reservation. Then I waited. January 15th, evening. I was at my apartment about an hour and 20 minutes away when my phone buzzed. Property manager calling. Ryan, there's a situation at your rental. What kind of situation? The guests showed up, but they're refusing to pay under the updated terms. They're saying they already paid and there's been some mistake. The original booker is on-site demanding entry. She's getting aggressive. Did she confirm the updated terms? Email sent January 1st with required confirmation. She opened it January 2nd at 2:47 p.m. and clicked acknowledge. But she never completed the additional payment, so the reservation became invalid per platform policy. Then she knew. No valid reservation, no entry. That's standard. Her father is here too, and he's yelling at my staff, threatening to call the police. Tell your staff to stay calm. If they want police involved, that's fine. I'm leaving now. I'll be there in about an hour. When I got there, 3 police cars were already in the driveway, and about 15 relatives were scattered across the lawn, dressed up, holding covered dishes, looking confused. Laura was crying and filming, Dad was yelling at an officer, and Mom looked like she wanted to sink into the ground. Neighbors were watching from their porches, some recording. I parked across the street and walked over. Are you the property owner? The officer asked. I am. I showed him the LLC paperwork, deed, and my ID. He nodded. They're claiming they had a valid reservation and weren't notified of changes. Terms were updated 2 weeks ago. Guest acknowledged them, never completed payment. Reservation canceled automatically. My property manager stepped forward with her tablet. Email sent January 1st. Opened January 2nd at 2:47 p.m. Terms acknowledged. Payment deadline January 8th. No payment received. The officer turned to Dad. Did you receive notice? That's not the point, Dad snapped. He's doing this to... Sir, the officer cut in. This isn't a family argument. It's a contract issue. No valid reservation, no access. They're welcome to rebook under current terms. Right now, they're trespassing. Laura was still recording until the manager said, Ma'am, stop filming and move back. The officer added, Put the phone away now. She finally did, clutching Buddy's carrier. Buddy calm as ever, which said everything. Someone in the crowd muttered, "The dog's fine." It was never about the dog. Dad spun around. "Shut up." The officer looked at me. "Do you want them removed?" "Yes." He addressed the group. "Everyone needs to leave. Now." Dad started to argue, but the officer lifted a hand. "Sir, leave or be arrested for trespassing." They backed off, slowly. Laura crying, Mom gathering dishes, Dad glaring at me like I'd ruined his day. The rest shuffled to their cars, embarrassed. I waited until the last car pulled out, thanked the officers and my property manager, locked up, and left. By morning, Laura's video and someone else's angle were all over local Facebook group. Screenshots everywhere. Holiday rental dispute. Entitled Family Refuses to Pay Updated Fees. Local news ran a 30-second story about booking policies. Faces blurred, but anyone who knew them knew. Laura's followers turned on her fast, once they realized she'd been filming for sympathy while refusing to pay terms she'd already acknowledged. People asked why her own brother wasn't at Christmas. She deleted everything within 48 hours. Screenshots don't disappear, though. The property manager called me the next day with another issue. "Ryan, your father tried to contact me directly this morning. He claimed he was authorized to make changes to the booking and demanded I give him access." "What did you tell him?" "I told him only the property owner can authorize changes to bookings or policies." He got upset and hung up. "If he contacts you again, don't engage. Just forward it to me." "Will do." I saved the email notification she sent me documenting Dad's call, added it to the case folder. Then I got invited to watch the playoff game at my neighbor Mike's place. Guy in his 40s, works nights as an EMT, keeps to himself, but we'd gotten friendly over the past year. He handed me a beer when I showed up, introduced me to a couple of his buddies from work, and we just watched football. During halftime, I offered to order pizza. Mike waved me off. "I got it, man. You brought beer last time." Just normal people treating each other decent without a bill attached. Felt weird at first, but in a good way. In February, I dealt with the last piece of family obligation still hanging over me. The 8 acres my grandfather left me. Dad had pushed me to leave it to Lara for the family. Instead, I signed it over to a conservation trust. They posted a plaque with my grandfather's name and mine. Someone sent Dad the link. That's how they found out. A few days later, I sent the letter. 3 pages, written with Tom, certified to Mom, Dad, Lara, and Aunt Linda. No emotion, just boundaries. No more financial support. No more gatherings or group chats. My number would be shut off March 15th. Attached, my financial log from 2019 to 2024. $58,670 I'd quietly covered. Not a bill, a record. I ended it plainly. Your deception, financial abuse, and false reports ended this relationship. Do not contact me unless you intend to take full accountability. Any further harassment will be handled legally. I attached the statements and case numbers. They weren't getting anything else from me. Tracking numbers confirmed delivery within a week. None of them responded. I changed my phone number on March 15th, updated it with work, my bank, my friends, didn't give the new one to anyone from my old life, started working out regularly, joined a climbing gym, reconnected with some college buddies I'd lost touch with, booked a trip to Vancouver for April, painted my apartment, got a new couch, started sleeping better than I had in years. April came. I was packing for my trip when my doorbell camera alerted around 8 p.m. Checked my phone and saw Lara standing at my door with Buddy in his carrier. I didn't open the door. Didn't even get up from the couch. Just pressed the intercom button on the camera app. "What do you want?" Her voice came through the speaker, tinny and distant. "I need to talk to you." "About what?" "About everything. About Christmas. About what happened. I know I messed up." "Did Dad send you?" Long pause. "He wants to talk. He said maybe if I could get you to just meet with him." "No. Ryan, please, just one conversation. We can fix this." I could see her on the camera, shifting her weight, looking uncomfortable. The red recording light was visible in the corner of the screen. "There's nothing to fix. You made your choice. I made mine. We're family. Family doesn't lie." Long silence. I could hear Buddy snorting in his carrier through the speaker. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "Okay. That's it? That's it. Don't come back here." I watched through the camera as she stood there for another minute, then turned and walked back down the hallway. Waited until I saw her get in the elevator. Saved the footage with a timestamp. Added it to the case folder. My flight left the next morning at 6 a.m. I made coffee, checked my bags one more time, and sat down at my kitchen table. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I looked at it for a second, then flipped it face down. Finished my coffee, grabbed my keys. Got to the airport 2 hours early, grabbed breakfast, and boarded my flight without checking my phone once. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel, and help us bring you more and better stories. Thanks. Stories. Thanks. Stories. Thanks. Stories. Thanks. Stories.